Right, thanks very much, Larry. So the bottom line is we must wait until the trial is concluded in Indianapolis to see what Evander Holyfield is going to do next. And while all these young contenders, Bowe and Moorer and Lewis and Mercer and Foreman strut their stuff in the heavyweight division, there is yet another presence lurking on the edge of the picture. That would be 42-year-old former champion Larry Holmes, who has mounted a comeback and who next Friday night will take the most significant step so far in that comeback attempt. You'll recall that when last you saw Larry Holmes, who will fight Ray Mercer next Friday night here on HBO, it was in an embarrassing knockout loss January of 1988 to the then heavyweight champion Mike Tyson. After that particular brutal loss, Holmes retired and was expected to stay gone from the ring. But a year ago, he began a comeback, and he has fought a small laundry list of some of the least impressive names and bodies in the heavyweight division. Take a look at that. But after fighting against opponents like that, Mercer signed, and next week Larry Holmes will be taking on the man who is called Merciless Ray Mercer, who destroyed and brutally knocked out another young contender, Tommy Morrison, 3 months ago. Right now, we are going to go live to Jacksonville, Florida, in anticipation of this fight coming up next Friday on our pay-per-view sister operation TVKO. And let's talk to the former heavyweight champ, Larry Holmes, now removed from Easton, Pennsylvania, and training in Jacksonville to get ready for that date with Ray Mercer. Larry, welcome back to HBO. First of all, before we talk about your fight, as one who wore the heavyweight championship belt and stood in that spotlight for so long, what is your impression of what's going on in Indianapolis, and what are your feelings for Tyson in that situation?
Well, Jim, I think it's a sad situation that Mike Tyson has put himself in that situation. It don't look good, even though a lot of people say it does. I don't think a young lady like that will put herself in that kind of position just to call attention to herself. So I think it's a sad situation. It's a sad thing for boxers, because all boxers are not like that. And the things that happening is what I predicted 4 years ago.
Yes, indeed, you have made predictions that Mike Tyson would come to a bad end, and if that in fact takes place, then you look like a little bit of a prophet. On the other hand, there are prophets who say you're making a big mistake by coming back to the ring. What's your motivation?
Well, you know, people said that I should have never gotten in the ring in the first place. My legs was too small. I was a common copy of Muhammad Ali. I would not be the heavyweight champion of the world. And I was that for 7.5 years. So a lot of people are saying a lot of things. They said a lot of things about my friend there, George Foreman. And he's made his comeback. He's very successful at doing that. And if you look at the heavyweight division today, I think it's a lack of competition. And I'm giving myself that second chance. I'm coming back, and we'll see what I'm going to do. This is why I'm not waiting around. I'm taking the best upcoming heavyweight fighter out there on next Friday night. That's Ray Mercer.
Well, a lot of people think that Mercer is a big step up from your previous opposition in this comeback attempt. What do you think of him? A big step up or just another fighter?
I think it's a step up for me, you know, because I only had 5 fights in the time I've been off. It's a good step, but I think it's a very good positive step, because I'm going to come out victoriously. And if I can't beat Ray Mercer, there's no sense of me going on. So I don't want to fool myself, nor I want to fool the public. I think I can become that champion once again. And on Friday night, the public will be able to see a good left hand working. They see the combination. They will see Larry Holmes take on Ray Mercer, and they'll see Larry Holmes ending up victoriously, because I'm going to win the fight.
Well, if we see that, it'll bring back a lot of memories. And as a fellow 42-year-old, let me say thanks for being on the air. And my heart, at least, is going to be with you next Friday night, Larry. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Jim, and I really appreciate it.
You're quite welcome. 42-year-old Larry Holmes. For more on his comeback, let's turn to 43-year-old George Foreman. And George, obviously, you're the last guy who's going to say that Larry's too old to be doing this. If that's not an obstacle for him, what is?
I can only tell you this. Larry Holmes has something that a lot of fighters will never have: a great left jab. If he's able to use that left jab, move in the proper positions, he can win this thing by points.
But you came back and have succeeded because of your punching power. Is it harder to do it his way?
Larry has always been a great boxer. He's not going to be dependent upon power. It may create a lot of problems for him. I never did lose the power. I was out there socking it to people all the time. I never depended on my boxing skills, so I never depended on my legs.
Fascinating evening on TVKO next Friday night, pay-per-view. You can get it in your home, and we invite you to check in for Larry Holmes versus Merciless Ray Mercer.